each home is more than 10 million US dollars. First, customer experience should come in, and thereafter, you should work backwards towards building the technology.
What are your needs that need to be taken care of? That homework needs to be done by clients. We do in their behalf if we do something. But on a general term, the misconception is having it all. Sab kuch dal do. Put everything in whatever is possible. Either it is going to be useful or not, that is very subjective.
Over the last couple of years, I've also seen, whether it's in Dubai or in India, people are now valuing privacy a lot more. They're valuing the view a lot more. They're valuing their location a lot more.
We have a life which
goes
asks
beyond.
for experiences. Why do you travel? Why do you buy brands? Why do you want to upgrade in your life to go in a bigger apartment, live a better life, add on technology to your life, to experience it?
The architecture like Dubai, and they want to negotiate like Gujaratis.
Okay, you nailed it
I'm
very well.
Gujarati.
I should have checked the grammar level.
Hello everyone, I'm Sapna Srivastava, editor Realty Plus, and today we are discussing a topic which has been talked about a lot, and that topic is luxury. But we are not going to discuss luxury as a category, but as a change in consumers' mindset. We have seen that across industries, across sectors, consumer expectations are now clearly shifting. And brands, real estate developers, designers, they are all now adapting to this new mind shift. To explore this changing landscape, I have with me two industry experts. We have with us Aayush Puri, CEO Residential Middle East and CEO ANAROCK Channel Partner. Ayush, a very warm welcome
Thank
to
you
you.
very much for having me here.
And joining us is Tushar Mistry, Principal Architect, Tushar Mistry Design Studio. Tushar, a very warm welcome to you as well.
Thank you very much.
So thank you both for joining us today here. And before we get into the market trends, talk about design, decoding, etc., let me ask you your personal opinion, personal perspective. Luxury means different things to different people.
True.
What does luxury mean to Aayush Puri and Tushar Mistry? So Aayush, if you would like to go first.
Okay, that's interesting. I think luxury for me over the last couple of years, honestly, it's changed. Previously, it was mostly about more, right? So more space, more chandeliers, more marble. It's still about more for me. So it's always more. I always want more. But now I would say it's more about control over time, over the environment around me, over my health, and over the experience that I'm having, right? So I think that's kind of the shift that I've seen. Over the last couple of years, I've also seen, whether it's in Dubai or in India, people are now valuing privacy a lot more. They're valuing the view a lot more. They're valuing their location a lot more. They've realized that it's a location where you live and where you play.
Right.
It is something where you're now rejuvenating yourself, recharging for the week. Spending time with family,
Right.
and if you're like me, spending time with your boss who lives in the same house as you. But yeah, it's changed. And if I just substantiate it with some numbers, I was talking to someone yesterday, and he said that about 1 CR, the category of 1 CR ticket sizes in India has grown to 65%.
Yeah.
So in H1 of 2025, 65% of sales pan India were on ticket sizes above 1 CR, which is a huge
Yeah.
shift in the buyer behavior.
Correct. So for Aayush Puri, it is the control of your own environment, your own, how you can spend your time and where you spend your time. Tushar, what is your personal, what is luxury for you?
From the design perspective, if you ask me, from a
For you
profession,
personally.
For me, luxury is experiential. Whatever I can experience in terms of good music, good people around me, more or less we are on the similar lines. But from the perspective for me is, I need to be pampered with all my five senses. That's
Okay.
luxury for me.
Okay.
What I see, what I hear, what I smell, what I eat, what I touch. So
Okay.
all these sensory organs have to be satisfied enough to make me feel luxurious.
Okay.
I think the easiest would be if you pan the camera around here. This literally is, the best experience
Yes,
you
we
can
are,
have.
sitting in a very luxurious environment. Probably we'll show our viewers later. But yes, for Aayush Puri, it is, being able to control the time, the people around him and his space. And for Tushar, it is about the five senses. What can excite those five senses is luxury. Um, now going back about 5, 6 years back, 2020, the Black Swan event, as people call it, the pandemic happened. Lot of things changed. What people buy, how they buy. When it comes to real estate, Ayush, have you seen from 2021 to now, probably, our luxury home buyers, especially we are talking about luxury. क्या वो ज़्यादा इमोशनल हो गए प्रॉपर्टी बाइंग को लेकर या ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकल हो गए हैं, ज़्यादा वैल्यू कॉन्शियस हो गए? यू सेड 1 सीआर इज़ नाउ द टिकट साइज़ व्हिच इज़ बीइंग सोल्ड द मोस्ट. सो व्हाट इज़, हाउ इज़ द लग्जरी बायर पोस्ट पैंडेमिक इज़ चेंज्ड?
So honestly, I still think there is a lot of emotion when it comes to buying. Obviously, especially for first-time investors, but they now justify it in a more practical manner, right? So it still needs to be an asset class that is going to hold value over the next few years. The easiest way to put it is possibly, the buyer likes the view, decides to buy, and then uses Excel or his chartered accountant to justify, the need for that buying or sort of to clean up that crime. So I would say it's a blend of both.
I like the clean up the crime.
It's a blend of both in a very interesting manner, and I think that's something that's now had a big shift in the market. Lot of developers, whether it's a DLF. So if I talk about DLF, I'm traveling to Noida later tonight, actually, and I was just reading 4,500 homes were sold in H1 of last year, which were all luxury homes. Now, when you double click on that, a lot of these homes are from renowned developers, right? So whether it's a DLF, largely DLF, and when you double click again, it's, each home is more than 10 million US dollars. So when I'm, telling that the buyer perception or behavior has changed and it's not just emotional, you actually see it in this manner where they are, purchasing those because of status, because of, they particularly want that location. But at the same time, they're doing more sensibly where they're only working with certain developers which have a good brand, which have good consistency of delivery. So I just think, it's a blend, and that's something that's going to be here for the long term.
Yeah. Property buying has always been emotional for Indians. But as you mentioned, now they are becoming more practical as well in terms of how they are spending the money, where they are spending the money, and with whom they are spending the money. As you said, the branded developers or the mood developers they want to go with. Tushar, if I have to ask you in terms of design, post-pandemic, from then to now, in 5, 6 years, how has the definition of luxury design, I'm saying it in quotes, luxury design changed?
So minimalism is what people are pursuing because they've understood if something now David comes after COVID, they will have to clean up the houses by their own. So less cluttered designs, detailed but simpler. Less is more is less wala concept. So whatever we are doing right now is more on a contemporary side. People are spending money, as we call it, as there is a difference between expensive and
Costly.
So we are going for costly materials, but we are not going for expensive side of it. So marble is again in trend. You see, pastel colors are in trend. People want to rejoice in that space which should not be boring enough. If you are packed in one room, there has to be characteristics. There have to be a change of mood settings, lightings. Everything can give you some difference in living when you are like enclosed in one space for a longer time. People are also buying. What we have seen in our clients is their budget for 2 BHK, they would definitely stretch our budget a little and go for 3 BHK so that there is a lot of space in the house. Even in the architecture revolution, we can see the balconies are back. The decks are back,
Yeah.
which used to be not part of Mumbai's
Skyline.
skyline.
No, everyone used to cover the balconies. We'll have extra space in the room.
So the space and expanse, even the projects that are coming up, they're coming on a larger side. Like carpet areas have increased.
Yeah.
So there's lots to do, and all smart homes that we are looking at. They want spa in the house. Wellness has taken over. They want to have best of the music around. So you can self-entertain yourself when you are packed in such spaces. So people are mentally, consciously taking those decisions of buying bigger houses, making it more minimal in terms of technology, more advanced, so that if they have to do things on their own, they will be able to do it.
Okay.
So that's the perspective. It's not about only using luxury materials. It's having luxury of picking and choosing, and things are available in market now, easily available, which can pamper you when you want to get pampered.
So it is about, having space, not about visual statement, but having, it could be minimalist, but it has to be very good quality. As you mentioned, it has to be the top of the line. Technologically, it should be advanced, and it should be, look, something which gives them joy and wellness in their
Wellness is
life,
on the top of the pyramid,
top of their list.
so that they
Okay.
can be safely sitting in the environment.
So new
without
definition
getting
of luxury on the top of the list is wellness, and then technology and the space and minimalism. Okay, fantastic. So this is what Tushar had to say, how the definition of luxury has changed. But do you think the developers still do not fully understand what a luxury property buyer is looking for?
Catch
putting me on a
They-
hot seat.
That's
They still are
controversial.
selling, my pool is bigger than his pool, my
Correct.
gym is more square feet than
Correct.
that. Is there something?
So I think they've now understood that it is more about square footage, more about service footage, I can say, within their developments. One thing that developers are now catching on is in luxury properties, buyers don't want friction, right? They don't want to follow up for snagging. They don't want to hear the word under process, right? That should not be a frequently used term in these developments. I think what one quote that I say is it's by Steve Jobs. It's actually a famous quote which says that first customer experience should come in, and thereafter you should work backwards towards building the technology. I'm pretty sure I butchered the quote. I've said it so
But
many times.
hopefully
You
I've got
think
the
I would have
gist
learned
of
it
it.
by now, but that's what I inferred from his quote. And essentially, that's something which developers are now getting a hold of, which is buyers want, their real estate experience should now mimic the other brands that they look at, whether it's an Emirates, whether it's Aman Hotels, Four Seasons,
True.
Apple. They're now expecting similar experiences within real estate projects that they're living in. And I think that's for us as well. One of the perspectives that I have, Tushar mentioned about technology. That's something that's heavily going to change the market. Instead of disrupt, I would say it's going to evolve the market, where a lot of buyers now are thinking about the post handover process. Once the developer has constructed the project, handed it over to the society, what happens then, right? Which is a property management company, appointed? What kind of technology are you using? How easy is it for me to raise a complaint? So I think those two would be sort of high in the bucket.
Okay. So I think this is where a lot of developers miss out the bus, is it's not about just the property, but customer experience, as you mentioned. And then the post handover, the post sale service, like, we say in FMCG, it's something like that. That is what any luxury buyer especially is looking at. What is the kind of experience, the transaction experience, and even the post transaction experience that they are looking at. Fantastic. Tushar, if I have to ask you, what is the misconception about luxury design most people have? This was about the developers, but what is the misconception about luxury design most people will have?
Have it all.
Have it all?
You can't have it all. So people see the exposure level of everybody has increased. They travel, they see everything is available on reels, but what is for you? What is that? Again, I don't want to use the word bespoke. It is too abused and used now. So anything that is tailor made for you, you need to understand that what are you identifying it with. Luxury is to have an ability to pick and choose.
It should be personal.
It should be very personalized. It should not be generalized because somebody has it, you should have it. What are your needs? That need to be taken care of. That homework needs to be done by clients. We do in their behalf if we do something. But on a general term, the misconception is having it all. Sab kuch dal do. Put everything in whatever is possible. Either it is going to be useful or not, that is very subjective. So in a residence, if you are putting like I would say that on technology basis, just for the sake of giving automation, 4 lights on automation, 4 fans on automation is not going to help. Either you do it completely end-to-end solution or you just don't do it. Instead, you give something else. Just to quote it as luxury, that is the misconception in the developers कि हमने ये भी दे दिया, हमने वो भी दे दिया. As just adding on amenities, having a multi-purpose court, which is actually not a multi-purpose court. Just for the sake of adding that amenity, you should not do that. Instead, give something which can be
He
fully
has somebody in
used.
mind who he's talking about.
No, there are a lot of projects that we do a lot of clubs, we do a lot of lobbies. So in that case, see, amenities, when it comes for planning, they have list of amenities which is to be designed in that small space. You give what is necessary, what can be fully given in that particular area. So because you don't have luxury of space, give something which is luxurious enough for that much of space.
Value engineer.
Yeah, I'm backward integration, that what can be fitted here well.
Yeah. It should be value to the occupant, the resident.
Yes.
Correct. So, have it all is the biggest misconception, according to Tushar Mistry. Now, we spoke about the pandemic, we have spoken about your personal. Now, there is another thing which is going on is infodemic, social media and digital media. So, we are all afflicted by that. There are good and bad side to it. But one thing that it has definitely done is that it has enhanced aspirations and visibility. So if I have to ask you, Tushar, Ayush, first, with social media, digital media, how has it impacted the way real estate is being marketed and consumed?
So, honestly, social media now it's become a sexy word for a lot of people. You'll not really purchase a unit unless you've seen that particular developer's project on social media or got a call from the sales guy of that project. I think where it becomes dangerous is, as Tushar said, that the reels, people start viewing that. Now they may not say that, look, I am buying based off this reel of this project and that's why I'm buying the unit. People wouldn't admit that. But now based on those reels, they have an idea of how the kitchen should look like, how the balcony should feel like, what the walk-in closet should feel like. And I think that then becomes slightly dangerous because tying into Tushar's answer, which is they want all of it, right? The developers then start building for Instagram, where they forget that once the reel ends, livability needs to start from there.
True.
So that is a blend which really needs to now come into the market, which is your building for social media, as well as have the comfort of it being in a house. But I think it's a good thing that social media is now making things a lot more accessible.
Right.
You're able to see a lot more options as a buyer, and in turn that pushes the developer and the competition with developers to then try and innovate as much as they can to provide as much comfort to the end user as possible.
Okay, so the good part is that the awareness level has increased, but the bad part is unrealistic expectations that sometimes comes from the buyer. Now, like Ayush said, that things are now being done to increase shareability, Insta-friendly. How has that changed the approach of designers in general? Are they consciously making projects which are more shareable, which can go on Insta?
So I would rather say that no ROIs are going to, or we have not done any project which we have got through a demonstration of work. But yes, it creates a confidence in your existing clients because they keep on looking at it. It is more of a demonstration of what good work you are doing, body of work that you can showcase. And it's good. I mean, I have no problem with social media. Even our clients come with Reels and Pinterest and all of that. We have no problem with it. Finally, we pick and choose clients who is going to listen to us. So that, because they have options, we have options. People are making houses, people are doing clubs, they are enjoying clubs, and the wavelength should match in that particular segment. So social media has not impacted much in terms of design. Yes, people come with weird ideas, and mostly all content that is generated these days is AI. So they also understand that this is AI, this wouldn't be possible. But yes, sometimes it's a good learning for us also that this can be also possible.
Right.
So so not necessary, I would say that is very negative. Yeah, everything has negative, positive sides
Right,
of it, and it creates good competition, good learning for us also. Something somebody has imagined, which is good to use otherwise in a small part maybe. Some drawer, some system, some lock, something we can pick and choose from that. So it is knowledge sharing platform, I would rather say. It's not a waste of time, or it is totally working negative for design industry. No, it isn't.
I think what individual takes up from there, like you said, you can learn a lot from there, some new innovation, new thing, but to totally depend on it is something which is not advisable for
See,
anyone.
your human touch is required, your emotional investment is required in everything. So if somebody is approaching you to design something, then they will have to listen to you. What is correct? You go to lawyer, you go to, everybody understands these days laws also, and people go and advise doctors also. So none of the professions are left aside in terms of people's awareness. But as we said in start of, it is good to have ignorance is bliss at times rather than knowing it all again.
Yeah.
So if the approach is that, it is fine. I mean, social media
Sometimes
is,
you also advise customers, not to go purely by what they are seeing on social media or digital media.
So, to be honest, I'm a little on the contrary, where
Acha.
I love it because it gives you the most unrealistic expectations, and then you try to match those. So it
Okay.
helps you innovate a lot more than you could have even imagined that you can innovate.
What Tushar was saying, you
Yeah.
can pick up something new
Exactly.
from
You
there.
can pick and choose
Ah.
what you think is valuable to your client. And
Okay.
at the end of the day, it just opens up imagination for you.
Right.
I'm not a creative person as such, I don't know what is the left, right side of your brain. One of them for me is a bit slower, so I'm not as creative. But this helps bring the creative bug in me.
That's great. That's great. So finally, let me ask one last question is that out of all what we spoke about, we discussed just now, that one trend, one luxury trend or one customer expectation that you think has influenced all asset classes, not just real estate, but across industries, across sector, one trend or one customer expectation has influenced everything.
I think I can say experience-led real estate.
Okay.
So with residential, it is you want all the amenities, all the wellness, spas, gyms, hotels like services, concierge services. On commercial side, it's similar. You want a concierge desk.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down and have the delivery guy and have to open the door for the delivery guy. On retail, again, somewhat similar. On
Malls, yeah.
hospitality, they
Right.
want branded services now.
Right.
Malls, similar. So I think experience-led is what the next phase of real estate would be.
Okay.
And I think that's something which is uniform across all asset classes.
So any asset class experience is something, whether it is residential, commercial, office spaces. I think even in industrial spaces now they want wellness for their occupants.
Oh, really?
The experience of that. So that's
Okay.
becoming very important. Tushar, according to you, one trend, one expectation that is
I
common
think I
to
said
all.
it in the beginning only. It is all experiential. What is happening is because of robotics coming much in picture, people will find that solace in having things which are experiential. There is so much superficial environment that you already have. What will save you as a human race would be an experience. I mean, we as a human being, that is the most important thing that we have. Empathy, we have power to experience things in a different way. We don't live a life which is wake up, kill, eat, sleep, and reproduce. So we have a life which
Yeah, which goes
asks
beyond
for
that.
experiences.
Yeah.
Why do you travel? Why do you buy brands? Why do you want to upgrade in your life to go in a bigger apartment, live a better life, add on technology to your life to experience. It's again, we are talking same parallel world, whether it is a bigger project which has to be experiential in terms of services that are common services, but also when we do a small conducive space of a family, that also they want that touch. Even you have spa in the clubhouse, but for all hygienic purpose and all, they would also want steam in their house. They also want jacuzzi in their house. So a mini wellness center, a mini experiential zone, and a macro experiential zone, which developers give, and many experiential that they build for themselves. A needos of experiences that happens in their own house that is required. So it is all going to be experiential. A human race can only save itself if they keep experiencing things.
Great.
Otherwise,
Over the weekend, I actually got this service. You can book a service where they come in at your house and you know it's a spa. And I think he took at least 20 minutes to set up the massage would have been 30-40 minutes, but 20 minutes was for him to set up the experience, which is the music, the candles, the scent. So you're right,
Exactly.
it is somewhat similar.
So experience is what our experts are saying is something which is common, which is influencing all asset classes. I think it is hyper personalization, according to me, because whether it is customized skincare, whether it is these days customized playlist, music playlist you can have on Spotify, made to order fashion, even we have seen in wealth management now they are using AI tools for to create their own tailored wealth portfolio. So I think hyper personalization is going on with the experience that you are mentioning.
So we're talking of a wellness center in the house, like you have brands like Kohler. They produce products where every family member have their presets. You, on click of a button,
right,
if A, B, C or whatever name you want to save,
right,
the showers will set up itself
the temperature,
with the temperature,
and the flow.
with the steam and the whole process. Like the steam will be on, and after some time immediately there will be a cold water shower.
Yeah, you can preset that.
Everything is preset on the click of a button.
Yeah. Like in hotels, they are doing, they already have the data of the guests. So before they check in, they come into the room. The temperature is the temperature that they like. The pillows are the, the kinds that they want. The smell is already. So they feel. So they, and it's been in hospitality, they have been doing for quite some time. They have the entire data of the regular customers. So great experience and personalization is what the trend is. So it was a fantastic discussion, Aayush and Tushar. But अभी थोड़ा सा lighten करते हैं अपना conversation, and we'll have some short and spontaneous answers from you. Something we call it the rapid fire round. So, and we are going to put both of you in that hot seat.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it because I don't get time to think.
Do we get and I only answer if we get a hamper.
And you are allowed only one word as an answer. Okay, so Aayush, what truly closes a deal today? One word. There's a design, location, pricing. Yeah,
you said all the ones that I'm thinking of, and now I have to sit and think something.
Yeah,
different.
आप उनके emotions पे play करते हो.
The prince of all.
I'll take emotions.
Okay, emotions. Tushar, what is one thing that instantly makes a space memorable? You spoke about experience, but वो क्या एक चीज है जो एकदम आपका memorable कर देगी space को?
No choices for me.
One word. You can only answer in one word.
But no choices. ABC, you've given you so many choices. One word that nails it down when you enter. Grandeur.
Okay, the visual statement of the
Grandeur.
place.
That is the first thing that you see.
Okay, not bad. Very good. So, if you have to define the luxury buyer today, what is that one word comes to your mind?
Global.
Global.
They want experiences like New York, and they want the architecture like Dubai, and they want to negotiate like Gujaratis.
Okay, you nailed it
I'm
very
Gujarati.
well.
I should have checked the grammar. See, I told you that I
hate
absolutely hate it because
negotiations.
I can't filter myself.
Okay, I'm
I
sure
hate
he's not
negotiations
offended.
because I'm on the other side of
I
the
think he's
table.
proud of that. So
Yeah, I'm proud, Guji.
okay, now we are sitting in a experience center, right? So if a customer experience center was a person, what, according to you, in one word, would be the ideal, persona of the experience center?
Aayush Puri.
Oh, wow.
Smart, intelligent, confident,
Oh,
presentable.
fantastic.
This I'm going to use. I'm going to only cut this clip.
Okay, great. Now, this is for both of you. Okay. What is that one factor or one aspect which is non-negotiable for both of you in a premium, in a luxury development? One thing which is non-negotiable.
For me, it would be property management. I think, post the developer handing over, I don't want to be added to any WhatsApp groups.
Hmm.
And that is why I built ANAROCK. It is a community management app.
Right,
You can go and download it. So,
Yeah.
I would say
Of
property
course,
management.
yes. Many properties go wrong in property management after handover.
Exactly.
When they are not managed well, they are not maintained well. That is where a lot of properties go wrong. Tushar, what is that
Service.
service?
We are from service-based industry.
Hmm.
When we do design a restaurant, when a new restaurant comes to us, I'm just quoting an example. When somebody wants to open up a new restaurant, we say a person will come first time for your looks, second time for your food, third, fourth, fifth, and time for your service.
Okay.
You can go wrong with your ambience, you can go wrong with your food, you can't go wrong with your service.
Very
I'm gonna
true.
use this one. I'll give you credit.
Very true. Service and the management, the management, the property management is something what Aayush and Tushar.
We have experienced it
final word.
because we are into service industry and we
Right.
are into design build kind of
Right.
setup. Why we have repetitive clients? Because we give that post sale service, which is missing most of the time amongst everyone.
I think, yeah, fantastic. I think that was, thank you for those very quick takes and speaking from the heart. And, I think one thing which has clearly come out in this discussion with Aayush Puri and Tushar Mistry is that luxury is no more about excesses. It is about experience, it is about personalization, it is about service, and it is about property management if it is real estate. So, thank you, Tushar. Thank you, Aayush,
Thank
for
you very
this
much.
wonderful discussion, sharing your valuable views and perspectives with us. And to our audience, keep following Realty Plus for more such interesting talks.